On September 28, 1941, it was the last day of the baseball season. Ted Williams was hitting .399.5, which, had he not had another at bat for the entire year, his average would have rounded up, which would have given him a .400 batting average for the year. His manager gave him the option of sitting out that day, which was a doubleheader, and Williams decided to go ahead and play. He went 6 for 8 and finished the year with a .406 batting average. That was in 1941. No one in Major League Baseball has hit .400 since then. Ted Williams is known as the best hitter who ever played baseball. He's a legend and much more, a father, a teacher, and a patriot. He's born in 1918 in San Diego, California. He was born into poverty. He learned to play the game of baseball from his 3 uncles, one of them who had pitched to Babe Ruth when they were younger, living on the East Coast. He excelled in all sports, was a standout high school baseball player. They won the state championship. He was scouted by the Yankees and Cardinals, but his mother wouldn't let him sign with either team, making sure that he finished high school. After high school, he signed with the minor league San Diego Padres, and it was there he caught the eye of a Boston Red Sox scout and was traded to the Red Sox. I have some pictures of Ted Williams. Here's a picture of him and Joe DiMaggio. In 1941, Williams finished second in MVP voting to DiMaggio. DiMaggio had a 56-game hit streak that year. Williams went on to win 2 MVP awards and 2 Triple Crowns, which means he led the league in RBIs, home runs, and batting average. Here's another picture of Ted Williams on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And here's a picture of him with his left-handed swing at Fenway Park, wearing his number 9. He didn't get a chance to play in the World Series, so he had to shine in All-Star games. He hit 4 home runs and drove in 12 runs in the All-Star games and finished with a batting average above 300. In 1941, he won the All-Star game for the American League with a walk-off 3-run home run. Biography.com says that Williams hit 521 home runs and drove in 1,839 runs, which is amazing considering that he gave up 5 years during his prime to serve as a pilot in the United States Navy. He volunteered. He never saw any combat in World War II, but he had missions during the Korean War. He served as a wingman for famous astronaut John Glenn. John Glenn, in an ESPN magazine interview, said there was no one more dedicated to this country and more proud to serve his country than Ted Williams. Williams died on July 5, 2002, but his death would lead to controversy. ESPN magazine did a story about Williams' family having his body frozen in a cryonics lab, hoping to clone him in the future. And in that lab, his head and his body were separated, and because of temperature changes in the lab, his skull was fractured several times. So it created a national outrage with fans of Williams being angry about it, and has tainted his legacy a little bit in the media to some people. Ted Williams once said, "A man has to have goals for a day, for a life," and that was mine, to have people say, "There goes Ted Williams, the greatest hitter who ever lived." Ted Williams had one of the greatest swings in baseball. People from Rod Carew to Tony Gwynn talk about what a good hitter he is, but he wasn't just a great baseball player. He's in the Hall of Fame, but he's a patriot and he's an American icon. Thank you for your time.